What up, guys? It's Element. I'm gonna do a video today on my knife collection. I'm just gonna go through all the knives I have. I'm doing this one on my phone today, not my camera and tripod setup, just because I have a busy day and I gotta head out to work tomorrow. So I'm just gonna try with the phone and see how it goes. Hope you guys like the video, but this is just a quick once over. I'm not gonna spoil everything. And yeah, I'll just go one by one and show you guys the knives. This video is basically, I'm just trying to get more content out there. That was D-Bad's idea, Donnie B All Day. Make sure you go watch his videos and subscribe to him. But yeah, I'm just trying to get more content out there, and I hope you guys like this video. So first up is this Uncle Henry. I think my parents got it for me a long time ago. Came in like one of those cool tin cases that had 3 separate knives. So this does have 2 other smaller knives. I don't know where they are right now, but this one's my favorite of the 3 anyways. So it's got that cool little blade. I forget what the blade shape is, but that's like just your basic it's like a clip point. This one, I can't remember what that is. I don't know if that's I can't remember what it's called. But anyways, this is the first one. This is just a pretty cool little, they're kind of collector's knives almost. But yeah, I like it. This is a slip I made for it. There's my logo there, Elemental Made. And yeah, I just like to keep it in there. I don't use this one too much, but I do like it. It's more of a, if I'm feeling in the mood, sometimes I'll carry this guy on me, but most of the time it just stays in my drawer as kind of a collector's item. Next up is a favorite of mine. This is, as you can see, it's got a lot of wear and use on it. This is my Paramilitary 3, or the Para 3 is what people call it. This is just a standard. This isn't a sprint run or anything like that. This is just a S30V. I absolutely love this knife. I can't say enough good things about it. It's still razor sharp. I don't know how he treat their S30V, but like they just do a bang up job. It's amazing. I think I love the Para 2. I do, but I think I like the Para 3 just a little more. I'm not even sure why. I don't know, maybe it's just the way it feels in my hand. It's just a perfect knife. I love this knife. I'd like to get other variations of the Para 3 and the PM2, but this is probably my most carried knife, my most carried folder, the PM3. Next up, we got my first Spyderco ever, and this is my kind of how would you say it? This was the beginning of my folding knife journey. This is these are made in China, but they're made really well. They have a solid lockup. It's a liner lock. They have the 8CR 13 MOV steel. You know, not the best steel in the world. This is a budget knife, but they get sharp. They get extremely sharp, as you can see. I put a mirror finish on it and then scuffed it all up with fingerprints. So yeah, you can kind of see the reflection of me in the blade. It's I used the heck out of this knife too. I carried this all day, every day when I got it years ago, and I mean years ago. This might be my oldest folding knife, and I did nothing else to it except for that. Just yeah, just put a mirror finish on it, and that's about it. But this is a great folder. This is a great first time knife for anybody. All right, next up we got the Reich. This knife, this brand is underrated. I don't really hear too much about Reich, but they're phenomenal. This is just this is 14C28N. So again, some people would consider this a budget steel, but I've not had to sharpen this thing yet, and it came razor sharp. These knives they're just phenomenal. They're on bearings. This one is not titanium. This is just a stainless steel handle, but it is a frame lock. And it has this I think they call it a beta lock. So it virtually makes it a fixed blade because you can no longer move the line or the frame over. So the knife is impossible for the knife to release itself until you pull that back down. Then you can close the knife. But just a super smooth knife, and it flies out of there when you hit that flipper tab. It's the only flipper I have, and it made me love flippers, so now I'm just like, I'm addicted to them. I want to get more and more. But yeah, Reich, they're killing it. My friend, he just got himself one of their premium versions, because this is a budget version. There's the model of the knife, P128SF, if you guys are interested. It has a harpoon blade shape. But yeah, my friend, he got one of their premium models. So that one has, I think, 154 cm steel with titanium handles, and it even has a nicer action than this one. And he's stoked on it. He loves it. So yeah, that's the Reich. What do you know? The PM2. Paramilitary 2. Absolutely love this knife. I actually keep this in an EDC kit in my car now because I've been carrying the Para 3 so much in my actual pocket. But this knife is just unreal. You can see how much I've used this knife. Guys, my knives aren't the prettiest knives out there because I use them. I use them a lot. And, you know, when you use a knife enough, it tends to get a little scuffed up. But even the G10, you can see it's got some wear on it. But again, I don't have any premium models yet. Well, I that's a lie. I do have one premium Spyderco model, but I don't have the premium versions of these knives. I do not have the sprint runs or the ones with the really exotic steels, the super steels, you know, 15V, Maximet, Crewwear. I don't have any of that with the cool, funky scales and none of that. I'm working towards it, definitely, but right now I just have the base models, just the basic Para 3 and the basic PM2. The other one is just blacked out. But yeah, this knife speaks for itself. I don't really have much to say about it. Everything I said about the Para 3 is what I'm going to say about this. They're just phenomenal knives. The thing that I noticed the most about it is it has no blade play for owning it as long as I have. And this knife is probably 5 or 6 years old now. Maybe more. I don't even know. But it's just a phenomenal knife. I love Spyderco. So yeah, PM2. Next up, I remember when I said I had a premium Spyderco, this would be it. This is the Spyderco Veloton, or I failed that. The Spyderco Veloton or the Veloton. Some people, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I just call it the Veloton because it had a designer named Butch Veloton who loved the old Italian knives, and he brought that essentially to Spyderco. So what you get is mirror polished G10. Like, look at that in the light. It looks like dragon scales. Mirror polished G10, as you can see, it's got some fingerprints on it because they do it's a fingerprint magnet. Same with the bolsters, because it's such a nice mirror finish. It's just smooth, and you can't even feel the transition between the bolsters and the scales. Like, they just did a bang up job on this. I absolutely love it. A thick slab of S30V. This is well over an 1/8 inch thick. The thumb studs work as a blade stop, and it just flies open. Like, this has such a smooth action, and it's absolutely freaking hair popping sharp. And what it's really cool is it has a dual grind, as you can see there. It's got a hollow grind for the most of the blade, and then when you get to the tip, they switch it to a convex, and to strengthen the tip. And it just gives it a really cool look. Like, look at that hollow grind, man. This thing is just crazy. My most expensive Spyderco for sure, and might be my favorite. I don't carry this one too much because I took the pocket clip off because I just like it. It's a thick handle, And I just like the ergonomics of this handle. It feels great. But because it doesn't have a pocket clip, I'm scared I'm gonna lose it when I carry it around like that. So I'm working on making a nice sheath for it, and then I can carry it on my belt, and then I'll be good to go. So that's the Spyderco Velout. All right, next up is a knife that I bought when I was a kid. This is a handmade knife, and I'm gonna show you why you should always take care of your knives. So this was my first hand custom knife that I ever bought. It was, there's the maker's mark right there. I bought it when I was going through Oregon, and this thing had an absolutely stunning mirror finish on it. Like the best mirror finish I've ever seen on a knife. But I was a kid and I neglected this knife. I didn't oil it, and you can see it's got a rust spot right there. And it's now, the mirror finish has now turned foggy and built up a patina. Really nice scales though. This is dyed blue horn, I believe. Dyed blue horn, which is just incredible. Brass pins, forged with a nice leather sheath, as you saw. But this is one of the reasons you got to take care of your knives, guys, because this was a complete work of art and an absolute perfect EDC fixed blade. And I was a kid, and I didn't know anything about steel or caring about it. I didn't know you had to, like, I didn't know carbon steel's rusted and patinaed and this, that, and the other. So I kind of botched this one, guys. So I'm going to try and fix it as best as I can, get rid of that rust, and put a mirror finish back on this guy, and show it for what it really is, because this is a stunner. This is an absolute stunner. My camera on this phone is not giving this knife a justice. Like, it's a really nice dark rich blue, but you can't really tell. So that's this one. It doesn't even have a model name. It's just a custom. So this is another custom, essentially. This was, so as you can see, it's numbered 21 out of the batch. This is a railroad spike that was forged into a knife. There's the maker's mark. I believe his name is Ben Loop. This thing is one of my sharpest knives. He put a razor sharp edge on this. I never purchased this knife though. This knife was given to me by a YouTuber back when I used to be on YouTube. I said it in my last video, but I used to have a YouTube channel, and I used to be on there all the time, and I made a lot of friends through YouTube. And the guy who gave me this knife, his name was Sean Roberts. Unfortunately, he passed away. He committed suicide, but he gave me this knife, and he gave me a few others, which I'll show you right now. All right, here's the other one he gave me. He did give me a third, but I use it as a shop knife, so it's in the shop right now. But it's pretty cool. It's a dagger made out of a file, made by, I believe, Dark Wolf Knives, and Sean gave me that one too. And then this one he gave to me as a gag. It's like a kind of a joke of a knife. It's kind of funny. It's just a massive, ridiculous folder. It just says bad to the bone. Like, this is just some Chinese made. Yeah. But it's just funny. So I just held on to it because I don't know, just to remember him by. And this one too. Like, I'll never get rid of these. I just keep them. I don't use them. I just keep them. He did give me his 2x72 belt grinder, which is what I use to make knives to this very day. And I've had no problems with it. I use that thing like crazy. So that's what I make all my knives with. If you get a knife from me, or if you see me make a knife, it's with the belt grinder that Sean gave me. So just a little shout out to him. Next up is a knife my girlfriend's dad gave me. This is a Damascus skinning knife. It's really, really sharp. And as you can see, it's got 3 different types of material for the handle, which is just really cool. That's definitely bone. And then these are like, that's some sort of, I think that's rosewood, and that's some sort of burl wood on a Damascus blade. And it's razor sharp. When I go hunting, I'll probably take this guy with me to skin out a moose or something if I get one. Oh, yes. Some of you might know what this is. Some of you might not, because it's customized. This is the SE4. And I made a leather sheath for it. And I also made scales for it. As you can see, I have to touch up the scales a bit because I was doing some work to make them a little more friendly for the finger right there. But these scales are dyed blue maple burl. Yeah, you can see those are the scratch marks from my Dremel. I just gotta go over that now with sandpaper and it'll be good. But and if they fail, I'll just throw on the old scales. But this is the SE4. This is my first SE knife. This one did not come with a coating. Like, this is old. This is way back before they put the coatings on their blades. And this is still just like one of my sharpest knives. They do an amazing job with their heat treat. So yeah, that's my customized SE4. Maybe I'll do a video on it when I finish this, so it doesn't look so hectic. But if you don't look at that and you just look at that part of the handle, you can see how good it's gonna look. Look at that burl, man. Yeah, the SE4, great knife. This one my friend got me. This is the K-Bar Short is what it is. That's what it's called online anyways. And it makes sense because it is the shortest of the main 3 K-Bar knives. So this one is just hair popping sharp. I absolutely love it. I've never really carried this too much because he got it for me for Christmas. And I've carried it around a couple times, but I've never actually cut anything with it yet. It's brand new. So, you know, I really wanted the K-Bar Short because I have the 2 other K-Bar models, and I figured why not have the short to make it a threesome. Just kidding, but you know what I'm saying. The 3 amigos, right? So I just wanted a smaller version so I could be less intimidating if I carry this on my belt somewhere. That's the main reason I wanted it. So yeah, K-Bar Short. Okay, now we're in the big leagues. This is a tie for my favorite fixed blade. I have 2 absolutely favorite fixed blades, and this is one of them. This is the SE6. Let me just get it out of the sheath for you. That's hard to do this shit one-handed. This is the SE6. Look at that G10, man. So it uses 3D contoured G10 scales. The fit and finish of this knife is just perfect. Like, you can't feel where the scales separate from the spine of the blade. Look at those ridges are just unreal. They're just so great for grip, and the palm swell on this, like, this is just an outstanding knife. It comes with like a flat dark earth / OD green finish. I know in this video it looks like it's straight up just flat dark earth, but when that's just the camera playing tricks. In person it's much darker. Just absolutely phenomenal edge, still razor sharp. I could shave with it. Has a lanyard hole and a skull crusher on the back. Yeah, this one's special to me because my girlfriend got this for me, and I always wanted the SE6, and now I have it, and I just can't wait to use this knife as much as I can whenever I'm out in the woods doing bushcraft or just whatever, right? This is just a perfect knife. The SE6. All right, now we got my first ever K-Bar. And this knife, guys, this is the knife that got me into loving knives. This right here, this is what started it all for me. This is what started me into wanting to collect knives. This is what started me into wanting to make knives, all of that. It all started because of the Rambo movies, but I was young, and even back then, I was smart enough to know that the Rambo knives from the movies are not as solidly built as you would think for everyday use. So I thought the next best thing would be a K-bar. That's what I thought when I was a kid. So you can see I messed around with it. I put stamping in it and all this stuff. Like this is just crazy. You can see it has been used and abused. Look at the look at the handle. The handle's been used so much. Look at the difference of the handle between the K-bar short and this. Look at how much use this has had, and this has had virtually no use. Look at the difference in color, because the leather patinas so nicely. Yeah, this was my first nice knife, and I remember when I got it, and when I smelled the leather and the steel as I opened the box, I just was in shock. I was in a trance. This knife, I've done everything with this knife. I've had this knife for, I don't even know how long. I don't even remember. I was so young. And it's just a phenomenal piece. I still have it to this day, and hopefully I'll have it till I die, or I'll pass it down to my kids, something like that. But just a phenomenal knife. Yeah, it does. It's a rat tail, so it does have its drawbacks. And yes, the handle is circular, so it doesn't have the greatest of grip, and you can spin it in your hand if you try hard enough. But just the nostalgia of this knife and the fact that it was my first nice knife just means everything to me. So, the K-bar USMC, absolutely wonderful knife. All right, we're almost done, guys. We got a few more to go. This is the Kukri House. I believe it's the Mini Chura Champ 3, because it has 3 Chura in it, which are these beautiful ridges they put in the blade. I may as well just show you instead of talking about it. But first of all, the sheath comes in a traditional style sheath that they make. This is real leather, and they put this cool pin on there of the double Kukris. But it's just awesome. See, I learned my lesson. Now I keep my blades oiled, because I don't want nothing to rust. But the fit and finish on this knife is absolutely incredible. But look at the scalloped inlays, the Chira in this knife. I saw D-Bad had this knife, and when I saw it in his video, I was like, I have to have that. So I got this when I purchased another one of their knives, which I will show you soon. But this has a polished rosewood handle. It has a keeper on the back. Kind of like I guess a skull crusher, if you will. But it's more so just to, I don't really know what the purpose of it is, actually. I'm not an expert on these knives, but they are. And they do an amazing job. And this one came razor sharp. And just super thick, like over a 1/4 inch thick. That might be that's close to 3/8. Like, it's ridiculous how thick these knives are. 5160 steel. Just a phenomenal knife. I have yet to do any real work with this, but next time I head out into the woods, I'm for sure bringing this guy with me. All right, next up is my other favorite Bowie. This is the D-Bad and Elemental Made Redemption. So, as you know from my last video, if you watched it, I explained the story behind this knife, but I'll do it again really quickly. I did a rough draft, like I did a sketch on paper, and then I sent it to D-Bad and I said, hey, this is my design, but can you make it work? Can you make it actually be better? So he refined it, and he gave the design back to me, and I sent it to the KHHI house, KHHI, and they had it made. And I have the drawing of this knife tattooed on my leg. And this is my other favorite knife. Remember when I said it was this and the SE6? This is the other one. So let's show you guys this knife. Just honor it. It's oiled. It's got quite a bit of oil on it. But this is a mirror polish. And trust me, that's not fogged up. It actually is a mirror finish, as you can see when my hand moves the oil. But I just want to take care of this knife so well, so I keep a little bit, probably too much oil on it. But trust me, this is a mirror finish. This knife is just unreal. Everything's polished as I wanted. The handle is a rosewood, pinned, full tank construction. I love a knife that has full tank construction that has a guard. You never ever see that. It's always a rat tail, so they can just slip the handle over top, and then it butts up with the guard. You never see a full tang knife with a guard at the same time. That's just unreal. Like, this will never break. You'll have this forever. And the sheath is great. Nice thick leather. They do like orange stitching, and then it has this for the leg tie on the back. Instead of just putting a hole in, they actually put a little D-ring and rivet it to the back of the sheath, so the sheath won't start coming apart. Yeah, no, it's everything about it is just awesome. And this is the Redemption. And I do give permission to have this made. If you guys want one, email me or email DBAD, or just comment under this post or something. We can get you guys sorted out. But I give permission for this knife to be made. 5-inch handle, 8.5-inch blade. There you go. Over 1/4 inch thick. The Redemption. Oh yeah, you know what time it is. The Big Brother. This is the K-Bar Big Brother. Like I said, I wanted to have all three, so I got this one quite some time ago, and I made a leather sheath for it. And this is my favorite sheath I've ever made for a knife so far. That one and the one I did for DBAD. I like the one I did for DBAD too, but this one's my favorite for a big knife. Let's say for a big knife, this is my favorite sheath. Yeah, I went all out on this one. I wanted it to be strong. So, see, it's got the little eagle and then the eagle there. I love eagles. They're my favorite animal, aside from the tiger. Yeah, it's a big one. Just a monstrosity of a knife. Awesome. Again, they do have the rat tail tang, you know, not the most favorable option, but these K-Bar knives kick ass, and everybody knows it. They're just awesome to have, and they're fun, you know what I mean? And they have that history to them, and that classic look. Everybody, when they look at this knife, they know what it is. They know what a K-Bar is. I can't really say too much about it because it's just the same as the other two, except bigger. So, the K-Bar Big Brother, guys. And last but not least, my biggest knife to date. This is the DBAD Mission 3. Designed by DBAD, made by the Kukri House, KHHI. Alright? Look at this. This thing is ridiculous. Remember when I said when I was a kid and I bought my first K-Bar, the only reason I didn't buy a Rambo knife was because I was like, well, those aren't really strong enough for real world use. Like, yeah, sure, you could do a few things, but I wanted a knife that I could be that would just be a menace. So the only other option at the time was like, all right, well, there's the K-Bar. That's a really cool classic war knife. And then DBAD happened. Donnie B All came along, and I found his videos, and I saw that this guy was recreating the Rambo knives but made for real world use. Let's take a look at it. Oh yeah. The Mission 3, based off of the Rambo 3 movie. But the difference is, this is full tang. Just unreal. Crazy. This would probably be my third favorite knife. Or if I had a top 3 instead of a top 2, this would be in the top 3. Just unreal. When I got this, I was like a kid on Christmas. It's got the classic, the hand catch there on the back, just like in Rambo 3. It has the angled guard, just like in Rambo 3. Everything about it is just like nostalgia for me, because I love those movies so much. And yeah, it's got some marks on it because I did go out into the woods and I used the hell out of this knife. I did some hardcore chopping action. But yeah, I'll clean it up. Those aren't permanent. Those are just some scuffs from wood and bark and sap and all that good stuff. But this is the Mission 3, and that's the end of the video, guys. Those are all my knives. Sorry if this took longer than it was supposed to. I just get a little excited when I start talking about knives because I'm passionate about them. But these are all my knives, and maybe I'll redo this video one day in higher production, like I said, because I do have the means to do it. Today I just don't have the time, but I wanted to get another video out for you guys to kind of prove to you that yes, I am trying to do this YouTube thing. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for sticking around. I really appreciate anybody who watches. Shout out Donnie B All Day. He's the reason I got back into YouTube. Shout out Donnie B All Day for making these awesome knives. And shout out the Kukri House, KHHI, for making these awesome knives. And shout out all the other companies. And shout out my friend Sean. You know, wish you were still here, man. But yeah, that's all I got for today. If you watched till the end, I really appreciate it. Maybe consider subscribing or commenting or liking or just, you know, all that generic shit people say. It does help though. So yeah, that's it. You guys have a good one.